Let me check out the new game first, just to make sure. I'm pretty sure we're good here.
I know there's a colored gem in stage 10. It's like 10 or 12.
Oh wait, I missed it here actually. Okay.
I'll say there's still the other colored gems in the game. We're still missing
another
one
regular
of them.
gem I got. I don't know if I got them all from.
That could also be why the percentage is off. I keep forgetting a lot of the other gems we didn't get yet.
Yeah, because they expect us to backtrack.
Yup.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, say, did we get... If I remember, we got a regular gem and a special gem here.
I'll get them both again regardless.
Yeah, good. Retrace our steps. It has been a while, so we need to remember where we're at. Yeah, freaking AAA freaking devs and publishers really should be learning that smaller budget titles are not a bad way to go to freaking, you know...
The problem is that a lot of the companies are now at the mercy of publishers, or not publishers,
Yeah.
but stakeholders.
That's
because
true.
they expect games to basically be infinite growth, which is not how it fucking works.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's that philosophy that's basically destroying gaming.
Yup.
At least in the AAA sphere.
Yeah, freaking... I feel like that stopped happening with movies.
Yeah.
Well, I guess one of the things they did start increasing, like, general movie length.
Yeah, and honestly, that's kind of exhausting for me personally.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and have to go through a movie like 2 or 3 hours every single day.
I've only been going to the movie theaters to see a couple fucking, like, gaming movies. I haven't really been going in to watch much else.
The only thing, like, I saw Mission Impossible 8 recently, but that was about it.
I heard that one was pretty good, yeah.
It's a mixed bag because of how the Dead Reckoning sales went, because it was released during Barbenheimer.
Ah, right.
So that's why that movie kind of went the direction it did. I like it, but I definitely do see a lot of problems with it. But let's put it this way, I have all the Mission Impossible movies. I'll be willing to watch it again.
That's good.
It's just not compared to something like All of Rogue Nation, it's definitely not the best, but I'd still watch it again. But, like, other than that, like, I've been going to see, like, my theater's doing a Studio Ghibli Fest, and I'm going there to watch the animated movies there, which is something very exciting for me. I've seen a lot of them, but I want to go again regardless, just because I love 2D animation. I kind of grown to appreciate more as I've grown up, and seeing how Disney just kind of wants to sit here and spit on all the live action movies nonsense. It's like, okay.
I'll say, I remember, after the failure that was Snow White, oh my god, that thing tanked. It tanked so bad they re-released it in theaters, and it tanked again. Like, nobody...
United in hatred.
Nobody liked the way I was being handled. It made them think they were going to start trying to halt a lot of their own live-action movie adaptation stuff. I hope so.
Well,
I would have hoped so.
I think would have hoped so is not the word I'd use for it, because I feel like maybe this was still in the ring of they still doing the live-action remakes, but like I said, the damage has mostly been...
Yeah.
Might be the special.
Oh, damn. So they don't give you the Aku boxes, they don't give you free Aku if you beat the stage already.
That's annoying. I'll look at it though.
I mean, they're like, oh, you already beat it, you shouldn't need the help at this point. I guess. Unless it's something that just happened in these
I mean, the game was designed in such a way that you can use, like, do no damage. So, at least it's fair in that regard.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Any hindsight to know.
Yeah. Just a little...
It's sickish, but at least they have the hindsight.
Just a minor oversight. They don't give
I'm
you
just annoyed that I died in the fucking pit. I have
Yeah.
an Aku mask, I wish I could burn that.
Yep. They do. They don't give you the pity mechanic. You've beaten the stage before. I know the Insane Trilogy, I think they did do that. Ah, yes. We did not get this.
So, according to this.
So, yep. You get your special colored gems. No boxes here. So we did get the one for all the crates. Alright. Good to know. So, yep. The colored gems get you to some of these special areas.
And they are also just as demanding, so don't fuck out.
Yep. A lot of these can be, honestly, kind of more difficult than some of the platforming nonsense. But once you get to the end of it, you will be able to get the, well, it'll typically lead to another gem.
Yep.
And there might be a couple that lead to other crates, which are fun.
Yeah.
That's something that annoyed me with some of the games, especially 2, when they expect you to go on the alternate route to get more crates, and then go back to the main route to get the other crates you missed. Oh, God. Just thinking of some of the torture. Crash 2 in particular, I feel like is the worst with that.
Yeah,
has some
Crash
really good
2
level
as
design, but in regards to completionist, it might be the worst.
I guess it also depends on who you ask, because some people would say that it's the best game because it's more focused on the platforming than,
Yeah.
than 3 is.
Like I said, level design platforming, it might be the best, but the completionist stuff does hurt me a bit with how much backtracking there is. And some of it is pretty painful. Like, I know one of the scenes in the last roll, you're basically going to the end, backtracking until, like, close to the beginning, and then having to go forward again. Because the Nitro Crate shit. I know at least Crash 2, that's, like, the worst with that. That's one of the problems Crash 1 does not have. It's just original Crash 1, you have to get all the crates without dying.
It's just, you have to get good.
That's fun.
The original Dark Souls of platformers for either...
Oh, God.
Wait, did I miss the...
The gem? Oh, maybe you did. Oh, boy. Oh, God. Damn it! Okay, so you have to explore to find it. That's... Okay, that makes sense.
That makes a little more sense.
I was expecting to find it at the end.
I was expecting to find it at the end as well, so...
I guess kind of the room that is. Alright, that's a little intriguing. A little dickish, but intriguing. At least we don't need to get all these crates.
Yeah, like I said, this game I'm not familiar with how the game...
Right, this is still technically blind for both of us. Whereas going off our knowledge of Crash stuff as a whole.
Yep. Like, I'm going off my knowledge of Entranced.
Yep.
And that game handles some stuff a little differently.
Yep.
They didn't have any of these weird, secret paths and stuff, so I'm not worried about that. Let's move forward.
Yeah, I know another thing people were tagging Nintendo for was how they had a thing on their extended user license agreement. It was like, oh, if you freaking like mod or do shit with your console in any way, you could freaking, we could brick your console remotely.
Yeah, that one I will legitimately say that's fucked. I'm sorry, that I will say is fucked.
It's not Nintendo only though. Microsoft, Sony, and Apple have all been doing that as well. They've been on their agreements for years.
It's still fucked regardless.
I mean, yeah. I know. I'm not saying it's just now it came to the limelight all of a sudden that that's been a thing. On one hand, well, I'm not going to really agree with it, but I can understand why they wouldn't want you to mod it, be able to do things, you know, basically get around a lot of shit, be able to get a lot of free stuff on it.
Yeah, I understand what the logic is, but this isn't the way to do it, I guess is the best way to put it.
Basically saying, oh, you bought the console, but you own the right to use it. You don't technically own the hardware. It's a really weird way to word it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's kind of the reason why most people are not fans of digital stuff, because it's like, here, you don't technically own your fucking game. It's like, I bought my fucking product.
And on the other hand, though, I probably wouldn't buy it to modify it myself. I know some would, but you can buy other...
They should have the right, I think, is the best way
Oh, the gem's right there.
I was wondering what the other path was. I'm like...
Well, there we go. That was it. Shit.
Now, at least they're nice enough to leave this in a checkpoint.
That is nice. It is technically warp points, so I guess it would be that. But yeah.
Let me just put it this way. I understand the logic.
Yeah.
The logic is faulty at best.
Yeah. Besides, I know at least with Microsoft consoles, you can technically get around that if you put the pay a fee to basically put the console in developer mode, but that's another thing. Just throw out there.
Yeah, paying for the developer mode rights.
Yeah. Which I know that's how people run emulators like a lot of the Xbox Series consoles. They basically put it in developer mode so they can throw all that stuff on it. But you know, it's nice that it's something you can do. At least hardware-wise, Microsoft's a little more understanding of some of that stuff. And, again, they're closely linked to PC unlike the other two. And they have better backwards compatibility than the other two. It's the only reason why I don't mind having it. And I'm just glad I got my console before the price hike kicked in.
At this point, it doesn't matter now since I'm already on PC, so...
Also true, yeah. And you can emulate all the regular Xbox stuff, and I guess some of the 360 stuff, and you're probably fine.
Yep.
And pretty much anything Xbox One onward is probably on PC anyway.
The only exceptions were what? The Ninja Gaiden games, which...
Yeah.
Honestly, like I said, the only thing...
You can always play Sigma. You can always play 2 Sigma.
Or 2 Black, which really is just Sigma again.
I also learned that apparently Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge may not be as bad as I heard it was.
Thing is, I heard Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge is a good game, it's just not a good Ninja Gaiden game.
Some
The
people
Ninja
say...
Gaiden community will not really acknowledge it, but
Apparently it's divisive.
that's why I say it.
I've heard some people say it might be the best game of the trilogy, which is weird.
Like, I heard the game itself isn't bad, it's just, you know...
Yeah.
If it didn't have the Ninja Gaiden name attached, it'd probably have a better chance.
Right. I've at least heard there's a possibility some people say it might be a better game than 2. Because I've heard 2 has some bullshit with it. At least
Depends
compared
on who you
to...
ask, because some people appreciate the bullshit.
I mean, of course,
Because they wanted to say it appreciates Itagaki's original vision, and that's how Ninja Gaiden was always supposed to be, because you always have those kind of purists. I understand the logic, but it's like...
I'm not particularly the biggest fan of torture platformers, if you want to go that way.
Well, I'll say it like this. I understand the logic, but if you're also the same person that complains about other series not innovating, and then you complain about when a series changes because it has a different director and all that, I'm sorry, but it just kind of rings as criticism to me. I understand why, like, you feel certain ways you do for certain games.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're the kind of person that complains about not having innovation, but then complains about how the series changes, and then you complain about a series not changing, it's like, there's a lot of things to digest there.
I'm personally not a fan of games being difficult just for the sake of being difficult. That's why I'm not a big fan of Souls games.
The reason why Ninja Gaiden is the only exception is because it feels like you have a chance to make things go quicker than... Like, you have just as much of a chance to kill enemies as they can kill you.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with difficult games is that they really just adopted this, the Souls formula in it. A lot of the problem with the Souls formula is that it's not a really fun game to play.
Yeah, see, I'm personally not a fan of it being just slow and clunky. Like,
because nothing about the slow and clunky nature, the overuse of the RPG numbers, and the overuse to the point that it stops feeling like it's a game that you can play to be satisfied. It's playing a game and then just raising your numbers or having the right effects.
And basically just memorizing everything.
I mean,
like,
that by itself isn't the problem. It's just here you can win the game by just brute forcing your way.
Oh, the one color gem we don't have. Yeah, like I say, we still don't have the 1 in 10.
Yeah,
we need the spinning ability. I think it's a 10.
We need to get everything here.
Maybe let's look at the last color gem before we continue on.
Not here then.
Yeah, I was saying. Because I remember we saw it, but we couldn't get to it because we couldn't glide. Now we can.
Now it's time to fly.
Yep.
Where did you learn to fly? God
damn it!
But yeah, I mean, like...
I
might at least download it for emulator for Wii U. Spoiler, by the way, I actually finally got a Wii U emulator working.
Yeah, I have one of mine in too. Dang, I only have it for recording purposes for some things.
Yeah, I just downloaded one.
Get Paper Mario Color Splash! No.
You know, I was watching your, a little bit of your Paper Mario videos for Super Mario.
Oh, Super Mario, yeah.
And you were talking about how it's like the one thing I can give credit for, Sticker Star Onward for being the turn-based. And you know what? Something just kind of clicked in my head when I was seeing this. I'm like, no.
No?
Let me just say it like this. I will 100% die on this hill when I say this.
Okay.
If Sticker Star Onward played anything like Super Paper Mario, I would be less harsh on that game. Because the turn-based does not do anything to heighten that game. It really is nothing more than a waste of fucking time.
I mean, yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, you can probably tell me it's like, no, but Paper Mario's always turn-based. I'm like, if the turn-based means fuck all I'm getting is money for shittier stuff. So what the fuck's the point of it? If it was like an exploration sort of game, like Super Paper Mario, I think there'd be a lot more. That would make it a lot more fun. And where the hell do I go? Is it forward?
Yeah, keep going. I remember it's after we climb a ledge, after we like do a lot of high jumping. It'll be something to your left after we go high up a ledge.
But yeah, that was something that I forgot what video it was because I was just kind of snapping in my head. I'm like, I think I would die. I'll say that. Because the turn-based does absolutely nothing except waste your fucking time in that game. It really does.
Yeah, it's up there. That's where we need to go. There's another ledge later on. I guess it's up there.
By the way, and you.
I mean, I just personally thought that frickin' Super Paper Mario was just monotonous. I mean, I'm not saying that frickin' Sticker Star is not. Hell no. I still prefer Super Paper Mario over Sticker Star. Fucking.
So do I, but like I said, like, you know I have a different reason for not liking Sticker Star. I mean, not Sticker Star, Super Paper Mario. I just think it's kind of whatever at best.
Yep. Yeah. Remember, double jump and glide. There we go. Oh, wow, they expect us to do both. That's crazy. There. Oh! Oh, there's another platform to land on before that.
Well, time to die.
Unless you could somehow glide your way across all of it.
I needed the enemy to boost.
Yeah, probably. It did give you one heck of a boost, though.
I mean, that was always a thing in Crash that you needed to know how to understand, which is enemy step.
I mean, the turn-based combat in Sticker Star would have been fine if, you know, your attacks weren't fucking limited.
That, and also you gain something of value from actually fighting enemies besides money.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you get from the enemies, is just fucking money, so it's like...
Meanwhile, Color Splash did a marginal improvement on that. Oh, battle enough enemies to get this so you can raise your paint limit.
Okay, so
the game's a little easier, okay, cool, but...
Okay, so I didn't need the enemy, I was just being delusional. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of thought we were going to need the enemy, then once I saw their platforms, I was like... And seeing how fast you flew off them, I was like, you know what? You probably do not need them. But we needed that to get to the first platform. We really didn't need it after that, just for the first jump, which is annoying.
I mean, this is something that Crash did back in the day.
That's true, yep.
I
Look at
fucking
what was. As well. I mean...
Actually, I kind of regret coming in here because I don't want to lose my double.
Color Splash is basically a pretty big improvement on Sticker Star, but to be fair, Sticker Star is pretty bad.
I think I said it best, where it's just like...
The best defense I give for Sticker Star, if anything, is that it looks nice, it sounds nice, it's not a bad game.
It looks
but
good.
Compared to the other games in the series, ugh.
It's like, it's got a good presentation.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Like
we can say, like, yeah, it probably will age better in the sense that it'll look nice, but gameplay-wise...
Yeah. It's a good game at best. At best.
It's not even...
just good.
I wouldn't even say good, I think it's just okay at best.
And it's fair enough. I mean, you really hate
good,
it, I get it.
It's like, good would imply that there's actually something of value that I actually liked about it.
Oh, God, I don't look forward to going back to it. Oh, well...
Like I said, the more I sit down to look at Sticker Star, it's like there is nothing about the game I actually like.
The other problem I have with Super Paper Mario in particular is it was the one Paper Mario game that wasted your time more than any of the others. Like, it loved to make you drag on to do something for, like, no reason.
I'd say Sticker Star also does that pretty bad.
That was more for the exploration for the sticker hunting, which, yeah, I guess you could say it was a bit monotonous as well, but as annoying as it was, at least it had a purpose.
I'd say that, but even, like, the game itself doesn't do a good job even trying to justify half of the stuff it makes you do.
We're in stages 6 and 8 if you're trying to do some of the other gems.
6.
Yep. I mean, the game itself, if you don't like the way it plays, you can say the whole thing is a waste of time. Yeah. There is a puzzle element to it. It's just how many
like I
people
said, if
are
it played more like Super Paper Mario, I think the puzzle element could have actually carried it a lot further.
Yeah.
Because the turn-based does nothing more than waste the game's fucking time. There's nothing to justify it.
Yeah.
And to put it mildly,
just if you had just the stickers being special
oh
attacks.
crap! I need you.
Oh, unless.
Oh god, this is actually kind of scary.
Yikes, that's a tough one.
No, I cannot.
Yep, once you're in midair, you can't jump from it.
And we got all of the boxes, I believe.
Yeah, we did. In stage 8, we didn't do either.
And I get the feeling that we're going to need to get boxes on the other routes.
For that stage, probably. I do have the box counter for it, so makes sense. Yep, that's how I want you to do it. Yep. Really difficult without that method. It's nice to have extra stage hidden off for some of these, though. Nice to give you a reason to come back to these stage for extra
this
challenge.
is something that, like I said, this is actually foreign to me because I'm not. Because when I played Entranced, I wasn't familiar with this at all.
Damn it!
Like they didn't do any secret paths. Everything was kind of just locked in the stage, which, depending on who you ask, might be better or worse because you don't have to worry about all the extra stuff. It's just you don't have to deal with extra stages. Maybe some people would probably be a little disappointed because they find the extra stages more cool.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Some of them can be annoying, or some of them just.
I mean, that's always been the case.
Some of them just do a harder version of the stage you're already in.
I mean, that's always going to be the case,
yeah.
though, because it's just. You want, like, people are going to bitch about games not being hard, and then they're going to bitch about games being too easy. You can never please everybody.
I know one of the. Oh, another thing that came up recently, I know Liza P announced a DLC, and they, what was it? They announced there's like a difficulty setting for it. so people can lower the difficulty if they want to do that. The DLC.
People
And
complain.
you expect the hardcore community's mad. Why are we using it for people to get through? It's like, it's an option. I don't mind if it's an option to have. Why do you need to isolate people like this? Like, well, why should we be lowering the standards so people can do this? It's bullshit. Why can't people just learn to get through it? Again, it's an option. You don't have to commit to it. And not everybody wants to struggle to get through a game they actually want to see through to the end. They don't want to
Probably
have
the
to
same
struggle.
people who want the easier options to basically mock the player.
Yep. It seems I've greatly underestimated you. I greatly overestimated you. Fuck you!
Okay, there's not the only pit.
Go out of the pit! There's nothing else here, there's no need. They had 3 lives down there. Yeah, right. Alright, we still have to get to the end. I keep forgetting. We don't finish the stage. I don't think we get to keep it.
Yeah, I think this...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have to get to the end. Yeah, I would assume they'll basically treat us like we didn't do it. If I go by the gold gem thing.
Just one checkpoint.
But yeah, you know, I understand some people want, you know, games to feel difficult because it's kind of their purpose, but you know.
The problem is, another big thing is also just a lot of games have done a pretty terrible job about making difficulties worth a damn.
Yeah, sometimes the difficulty
Because a
scale
lot
is
of
bad.
times difficulty just ends up being, here, enemies do more damage, you do less damage.
From what little I know, Ninja Gaiden is one of those, the 3D Ninja Gaidens are one of the games that actually justifies their higher difficulty. They actually add new enemies or whatever.
Devil May Cry also does a pretty good job with that as well.
Do they add new, like, enemy types, or?
They add new, like, enemy, like, varieties and stuff, so it's...
Okay.
So, like, on hard mode, it starts off with, you know, you get more enemies to fight, you have to fight a different set of enemies.
Okay.
You have to deal with the Devil Trigger aspect of it all.
Oh yeah, I guess more of them go to Devil Trigger as well.
Yeah.
At least they up their, like, yeah, they up their AI, or they up their, you know, actual difficulty of fighting them, not just, oh, their numbers got padded.
Yeah. Like, you gotta fight different different enemy variations and, setups.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know that in Mission 4 where, when I was fighting that shadow and you destroy that statue? It turns into a Death Scissors.
Oh god.
So the arena gets, turned down a little bit and you basically gotta fight in a very close corridor against Death Scissors.
Oh damn.
And on, Dante Must Die mode, there are timers in certain areas because if you don't,
oh, you have to beat enemies in time limits?
Yep, because if you don't beat them in the time limit,
You die.
no, they turn to Devil Trigger and they get special properties.
Oh, they get harder if you take too long.
Yep.
Ooh. Wow, okay.
Like I said, Devil May Cry is fantastic when it comes to
Action games of that era were really fucking good at that, it seems.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like I said, Ninja Gaiden and Devil May Cry are probably like the two I can think on the top of my head that were,
They were like really
That
excellent.
were-
They're like the pinnacle of that genre.
yeah, because like I said, I beat God of War on God mode, and the layouts don't change very much, but people did like it because you still have a different kind of, what the word is, tools to use when you're playing,
On different difficulties?
well, it's basically tools of the game itself that you
Oh,
can
okay.
use. Like, a lot of God of War apparently relies on collision, so
Ah.
you can use collision to basically,
Oh, okay.
give yourself an edge.
Ah, neat. I know some people said apparently, like, there is, like, a thing it does, like, apparently playing on high difficulty, you keep dying, that they do give you the option, like, lower the difficulty.
That only works if you're on, like, normal and stuff, because if you're on, like, the higher difficulties,
they don't
you're
do
stuck
that.
in the higher difficulties.
And I heard some people don't like the way that does it, because apparently a lot of people in the original God of War died at platforming.
Yeah, the platform...
I'm trying to remember, what was the name of the thing? It was, like, Hades something I heard was, like, one of the worst segments for platforming.
Oh, yeah, Hades, basically just Hades. You're in the underworld.
Yeah. I forget what the name for it was, but apparently it was, like, atrocious. Like,
I don't remember if
platforming
it's the Hades or if it's the underworld or
Oh.
a challenge of Hades or whatever it's called in
maybe it was a challenge. I know it was like called Hades something.
it might be the Hades challenge.
Maybe. I know apparently the platform for that was like the worst in the game. Like you die in that normal, you freaking. They give you the option to lower difficulty. That doesn't help because you're dying to platforming, not enemies. Oh, right, that again.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, well,
My brain just kind of forced the habits because I'm like.
We'll need to do that for stage 8, just not this one. And yeah, it doesn't help that a lot of games don't actually do their difficulty adjustments well.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point of difficulty if all you're doing is just inflating numbers?
Admittedly, sometimes it does work. Like, I do find it satisfying for games like the Prime Trilogy because it feels like, you know, how the game plays, it feels like you have to be involved in the action a bit more.